Hey, how are you? My name's Adam Byrne, and I'm here to give you my reflection on the time that I spent at Full Sail University and what I learned and what it means to me to have gone through that master's degree program in entertainment business. Before I tell you anything about the program in specifics, I'll just tell you prior to starting, one of the things that are so unique is that the classes are 4 hours and they're nearly every day a week, and then they switch every 4 weeks. So the training's intense. It's often changing, and then the course material is also building. So everything I learn in class one then gets taken as a product to go to class two, and then everything I learn in class two goes as a product in the class three. So everything builds. So you really do have a year's worth of a portfolio when you're done the program. So that being said, I got a great blog that I've been building on, and it's called Underground House Culture, and it's found at Blogspot, and you can find it by just googling undergroundhouseculture.blogspot. Also, I am the owner of properflavor.com and Proper Flavor LLC and Connect Entertainment, as well as Nemo Entertainment. Please check out properflavor.com and nemoent.com. Now, that being said, let me tell you about my courses. Media literacy and research taught us how to look at everything from an APA format. My previous undergrad at Philadelphia University, I learned MLA format, so now I'm switching my gears. We also learned about a PLN network and how to take RSS feeds and bring them to Google Reader. Now, this way you can learn about articles and the latest upcoming news. It could be in the entertainment industry or whatever your field is, if it's sports or whatever. That goes in the Google Reader, and then it hits you on a daily basis where you can then be looking at things through the feed. And I found this really, really interesting because you have this newfound zest for Full Sail. And now this course is teaching us how to do videos and talk about things in the news and get really hyped about being at Full Sail. It was a great way to begin. The next course was Executive Leadership, and this was another really impacting course on the foundation of Full Sail because we started learning these principles from these two texts, Green and Maxwell. Green was very bold and aggressive in his leadership abilities, and he taught you all these laws of power. And then Maxwell was really passionate and motivational, and the laws were a little bit different. They were more like principles. And another thing is we learned how to do a Picha Kucha, which is a keynote presentation with slides, where it's just a few seconds per slide, pre-recorded in a time sequence. So therefore, if a slide switches and I'm not ready, I got to be on my game and moving with those slides. Picha Kucha, totally cool. Loved learning about it. Loved the course. The next course was Project and Team Management, and that was done to teach us about how to run an effective project. A lot of us did events at concert events or a club event. Some did film events. Some did fashion. Some you had a television program that they had to execute from start to finish. And we learned tools in this class like OmniPlan, MindMeister. MindMeister, for example, was a great brainstorming tool where you could take this software and come up with all these different color-coded and time-coded bubbles and then have something tangible to work with to then execute into your project. And I have a lot of experience in hosting events from a previous company that I worked with and created. And it was great to take all my old projects and use some of this new resources from the course and just make something new from it. It was really kind of fun. And I got a lot from the course, and the instructor was very knowledgeable. She had built some great stuff locally. I know she was part of Baldwin Park's execution, and I love Baldwin Park. They got a lot of great stuff going on there. And so I did a lot of events in Philadelphia, and I used a lot of my old flyers and old content and pictures from me actually hosting the event. And I used data from some of the old venues, and these were accurate quotes and accurate prices, and then I used them in my new project. And it was a lot of fun. My next course was Business Storytelling and Brand Development. Again, this was a great course because this is now totally focused on creative development. We are actually taking all of these new ideas of looking at fonts and logos, finding out how to make a video go viral, and looking at different ad places and commercials and what drives a brand. And the professor was really, really passionate and creative himself, so he's a great guy to be teaching the course. I remember day one, he's got this t-shirt on that says Orlando Ken, and it had the hashtag and his Twitter symbol, and he's like saying, this is a great way to promote yourself, shameless promotion. And basically this class is where we came up with our business idea for the company that we're going to do, and it's pushing creative thought. And I remember when I came up with Connect, it was a great time of building creative energy. Like, for example, we did this video where we had to develop a story based on a nursery rhyme or a fable. For example, ours was Tortoise and the Hare, and me and my team were sent out with a 20-minute interval to come up with a video, a silent video mostly, and we did this thing where these two students, one had Plano water, our product, and another one had an energy drink, and they were rushing to complete the paper, and the energy drink guy fell asleep. The Plano water guy got it done and went to class on time. And I put some drum and bass tune to it that a buddy of mine had did, and it was really a fun product, and I still show this video to this day. And the fact that we only had 20 minutes to leave the class and do it was really kind of neat. Okay, so moving along, my next course was advanced finance, and this was a dreaded course basically because it was very, very mathematical. We had to come up with all the stats for the business and look at something called a pro forma. The pro forma gave all the startup funds, all the marketing funds, everything that it would take to develop the sales budget and where we'd be located and the target market there and what the cost would be there. And he basically taught us how to look at the numbers aspect of our business. We also had to go out and interview a financial advisor or a company executive and figure out their story and how they were successful. And that was kind of cool on its own. And yeah, the professor was very, very passionate about his stuff. We learned about Byrne Madoff and the big stock market crash and how he was very influential in that. Very knowledgeable course, and I got a lot from it. The next one was deal making and negotiating. This was really intense because it was a ride. You know, every day we were given these scenarios, and I'd have to put myself in the position of the scenario and negotiate. We would be sometimes in a team and have a mediator, and sometimes just one-on-one. So the guy with one-on-one would have his objective and his opinion about me that's totally different than my opinion about him based on my little paper. And we'd have these things created called BATNAs. And a BATNA is a best alternative to a negotiated agreement, which is a way to figure out the lowest thing that I'll take and what I'm searching to go under. We would create tripwires and use silence to our advantage. We'd also learn how to praise, to create an open field, dirty tricks, pressure, bargaining power. It was intense because sometimes you get really passionate about what you want and you're fighting it out with this other individual and they have a totally different perspective on their little paper about you. So it really did teach us a lot, and the material was really dense, a lot of note taking. I got a lot from this course. You really did learn some great negotiating tactics. And a lot of it was based on law. And another course that we had was Product and Artist Management. It's a class that had me on the edge of my seat the whole time. I love taking copious notes, but this was just something that I was so involved with because I do manage artists back in Philadelphia. I wanted to constantly participate, and some of the stories that she told, they were just so real to me. I loved learning about different artist managers and their techniques and where they went in the industry. I loved participating and bringing my real-world knowledge to the applications that she was teaching us about. She had a lot of great tools, and she has a very advanced career behind her with a lot of good stories to tell us, and she conveyed it in a way that I was just really impressed by. We learned about buyer readiness, target audience, brand positioning statements. We did this amazing presentation that I got really interested in, and I remember I took an independent film, Exit Through the Gift Shop, and did the sequel, Enter Through the Gift Shop. And what I did was I did the event in Philadelphia and again used a lot of my real world knowledge in Philadelphia on how to make it profitable. And I got really into this. It was a lot of fun. And I even won an award in that class from the professor. And her and I just really clicked. So Product and Arts Management, great course, learned a lot. And then there was Advanced Entertainment Law. This was known as the biggest course to fear in our program because it had so much dense material. This course was all about copyrights, logos, patents, trade secrets, trademarks, contract releases, permissions and clearances, government policies, products, and the rights around them. There was a lot to do. This course, I remember the professor was the head of the Entertainment Lawyers Guild, so she's got all these great credentials and all these amazing stories from her time as an entertainment lawyer, and she's still an entertainment lawyer. I'm glad I got to meet her, and I can draw on her at any time in my career. I remember doing some pretty heavy-duty papers. I remember one was on the Supreme Court, and it was Milkovich versus, I forget the company that it was against, but it was a journalism company, and it was this intense case, and I actually know Tom Milkovich and his father, and it was really cool to be able to write about this man that I've known in my life. And I gave him a call, and I was like, Tom, I just wrote this amazing paper about you and your dad and this wrestling match that went to the Supreme Court. And I really got a lot from it, and I learned so many things about intellectual property and copywriting. It's so much great material that I have documented. And she does these great panels and brings all these lawyers to the panels. She's very, very good at what she does, and a very passionate public speaker as well. Media publishing, another great course. Got a lot from this one too. She taught us how to make our blogs better. She taught us how to use music aggregates, and um, basically to get published, the royalties and the products, you can do a lot more independent publishing these days. It's not so much about getting signed, like your book signed with a label or your music signed with a label or your film treatment. She showed us how to do it on our own, and she has a lot of passion. And she also worked for Simon and Schuster and has a lot of years, and is also an entertainment lawyer. So the knowledge that she brought to the table, it was great. And I learned a lot of great stuff on how to push my media and these different aggregates out there, and it's great. She showed us some great tactics on how to build a fan base and how to create mobile apps. It was great. Another great course is the digital marketing course here at Full Sail. This course, I'd say, would win my award for the most stuff in a class period. And then each class period, I just got more and more. I mean, she was just very knowledgeable about her field. She taught us how to set up Google Analytics on day one for our blog, and then we learned how to get people to sign up for this daily blog through emails and Byrne. I learned how to get email blasts through a new program, step by step. She taught us how to use MailChimp, which is the email blast program. I already have lots of email lists set up. I love MailChimp. It's a very, very powerful tool. I also learned how to operate Google AdWords, Google Analytics. I can set up my own pay-per-click ad and track it. Also, she taught us how to use Illustrator and how to create a logo, how to track our ads, how to set up things so Google likes it better and gives you a higher page rank, things through Quantcast and SpyFu and Alexa.com. We also learned how to set up a marketing plan A and plan B, which is very in-depth with numbers and what we were going to do to build with our company and the marketing plan. Also, we're doing these blog posts, a couple of them each month through each course. Business policy and strategy was a course that really helped us get that pro forma right in order. We took this business plan and got great advice on how to keep it polished. It helped us complete a more in-depth income statement and firm up the sales on a monthly basis. Figure out the why it's selling that much. Why is it going to make us this much money? Is it even going to be profitable on the first month, let alone the first year? And if not, how are we going to recoup those losses and make up for it? So you're really kind of analyzing your business plan, and it helped us kind of tie it all together. Now, the final project course, that's a great course all on its own because you're taking everything that you learned and polishing it. We had to present our business plan in front of a panel, and they critiqued us. And they're tough, man. They shoot at you. They got all these great ideas, and they'll tell you about your public speaking skills. They'll tell you about where the holes are in your plan and if your company looks like something they would invest in or not. The professor is extremely knowledgeable in the industry, gave us a lot of great information. He brought in a lot of great speakers that had a lot to offer us for the future. It's great for networking. I felt it was a good way to end my master's program here at Full Sail, and I was really, really impacted by that panel and the way my business looked for them. And to see the positive feedback and where they all believe I'm going to go, I have a really bright future in front of me, and I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video on my reflections here at Full Sail. So again, my name is Adam Byrne, and I hope to meet you if I haven't already and tell you more about myself and where we might be going together. Thanks again. Have a great day.